Welcome, everybody. It is Reality Riffs podcast. I am your host, Jessie Reed. I have alongside me my sexy, unique husband, Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty swell today.
As swell as you can.
As swell as I can.
Maybe you can tell by the enthusiasm in my voice. We just got done watching Vanderpump Rules together this time.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
It was a decent episode.
Like I said, I'm excited to kind of do this podcast, having just watched it, having it fresh in my mind.
Fresh in your mind? Yeah, me too. I am. And after having a little time to sit with last week's episode of Vanderpump Rules, I did kind of enjoy it. I mean, it drew me in.
Oh, yeah.
I was just kind of sick of it by the end, the petty fighting over and over about the same stuff and the people interjecting themselves. But,
well,
that's their job.
And now it's, in this whole episode was, Schwartz and Katie,
And Tori.
And Tori.
Okay, but that's why we call it May the Best Woman Win. So do you think they're going to start fighting over Schwartz? Like, why don't they call it May the Best Schwartz Win?
No, because in the end, Katie's acting fucking insane.
Well, true. Anyway, we'll get there.
We're getting to like
I
shit.
know.
Like,
it's great. I love it. Ariana breaks down over the end of her relationship. Sandoval and Schwartz attend a singles event. That's what Peacock says. I'm disappointed that it wasn't extended or at least unedited. I love it when they do the unedited and you get to hear all the fucks, and it just it keeps you in it more, I think. But anyway,
because when you're watching things that are bleeped out at our age, it feels really fucking condescending. You know what I mean? It's like, I am an old man, dude. I have to roll out of bed in the morning. I do not need you to bleep out the fucking fuck word. You know what I mean?
Good point.
But I get it. Somebody's grandparent would be losing their shit if they were flipping the channel. Because, the people that still flip channels would flip past Bravo and fuckity fuck, and before you know it, grandma's had an aneurysm and is laying on the floor.
I don't think channel surfing is quite what it used to be. There are hundreds of channels.
Yeah, well, like with Dish, I'd set up my faves, so I had my channels that I could flip through. I'd set my own basically playlist, right? So you have your own scroll list.
Oh my God, we had that for 5 years, and I never knew I could do that.
Yeah, so you could totally cut out all the the smut in the movies and the free shit and the.
Oh, like parental control type stuff?
Well, no, just I guess you can code it if you wanted to, right? But you can set up, here are the channels that I have access to. Here's my channel, my special prescribed channel list. I don't want to see QVC. I don't want to see.
Oh, see, I always set up
I needed 4
my
channels,
DVR.
Yeah.
Because and then it'd be on auto record. And so every day when you and the kids would go to school, I would go to my DVR. I never watched Dish. I watched DVR so I could fast forward through those channels. Or not fast forward through the channels, but through the commercial breaks.
Yeah, it's interesting. Since we've had YouTube TV, I've been seeing more commercials, and it's
because they force you to watch some of them.
But it's just kind of
or you gotta actually kind of see a couple. Well, I know I would always want to be the first one, because even if the audience is gonna fast forward, you see that first bit of it.
Well, now I think if you notice, I don't have any Patreons, right? So all my podcasts are, basically through YouTube and YouTube Music, and so I get like the ads, and I'll hit the press the 30-second ahead button, right? And
Yeah.
it's like they know that you're doing that. So when you do it, you get certain keywords thrown up, and then you hit the next one, and it's like the next keyword. And now those fucking things are like 2 minutes long, so you have to keep going.
It's funny that you say that because, like, if I do listen to a podcast that isn't one of my Patreons, I've noticed, like, especially recently, because I never used to subscribe, but now my three main ones, and that's like what I listen. That's all I really listen to. But now that we're back to Vanderpump, I've been listening to more. But I do notice when you hit that 30 or I mean fast forward fast, it will like it it starts right where it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, yeah. And it never used to do that. It was totally random.
Oh yeah, now those things are pretty intuitive now.
Yeah.
Thanks, machines. I, for one, welcome our new machine overlords.
I'm not crazy about a lot of this AI stuff. Some of it I love, but I just hate that we have to question. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Let's get back on this while it is still fresh. Okay. So where we are going to start is where we left off at the beach.
To be continued. Continued. Yeah. Part dos.
Yeah. So, I didn't even really write anything down that was noteworthy until, well, I guess it's kind of started that way, but I was like, for one, this was the first time I ever said this, but I was like, Brock needs to shut the fuck up when he was trying to tell Ariana to basically forgive and forget or get over it.
Like you're harsh and are mellow, man.
Yeah, basically.
That's like, you guys' real life shit is like really starting to fuck with my like adolescent fantasy I'm living right now.
Yeah, and it's like, and then she looks like the psychopath when she freaks out on people, but she's had every single one of them all day, because we forget this beach day has been going on all day. Every single one of them has been just like pecking at her.
Mm-hmm.
She's not the one that broke this friend group up.
I know, it's like, if anybody, I think I kind of said my piece on it last week.
Yeah, and so, but
if you guys want to hear my thoughts on that whole thing, you need to go back and listen to the last week, because
episode.
Yeah, I was dropping fucking
knowledge. But Tom and Tom sense the weight of everything, and so they decide to give Ariana a breather. That means they're gonna go to the bar and get some mocktails and just talk shit about Ariana. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like, we're just gonna go. I know we're kind of bringing everybody down, so we're gonna go and just go talk shit over here. Oh
my God, is that where he doubles down on the batteries,
when he gets into
light bulbs, and then because it wasn't till later when the producer called him out. But so when he first said that, I was like, wait, because you know how they like to do a lot of flashbacks in this show? I was noticing his suit. I was like, this isn't a flashback. He's doubling down on, like, he got eaten, crucified for that with good reason. And
he's like such a petulant fucking child in that moment, man. I'm just like,
no,
dude.
But he thinks because that shit gets done, let's pat me on the back, even though and probably did all of it.
Well, I mean, good for you, dude. I fucking go to the grocery store every other day, and if we need batteries, I buy batteries. And
Oh, I
you don't.
know. Phil, like, yeah,
No,
try
but
having Phil's life Sandoval.
well, no, it's not even that. Like that shit's not hard. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? We're
Yeah.
buying fucking shit you need for the house.
He's just trying to make her look like, or, yeah, and then when the producer's like, you got eaten alive on social media last year for that. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm just trying to say she's in for a rude awakening when she gets her own place. And I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
you are in for a rude. I think that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they're both have
Yeah.
probably in much better places.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
No, but they order mocktails, and no offense to people who drink mocktails, because I don't think I've had one. Maybe if I was young and I had a virgin daiquiri. Yeah, I always had Shirley
Like
Temple.
that's sort
I
of like.
love a Shirley Temple.
But I mean, that ain't nothing but cherry 7-Up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
little grenadine and
don't fucking
Sprite.
jerk me around. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, but I just feel like because later on they do shots with water, and is that
Water bombs.
yeah? But like even when they buy but anyway, that just seems like real addict behavior to me. Like,
Well, that's the thing. Like, these guys are so wrapped up in their image of themselves that they can't grow the fuck up. That's their problem.
well,
They're bartenders. They're these trendy guys in Los Angeles where it's like, no, dude, you guys are actually like kind of being creepy old dudes.
well, and that's what makes creepy old dudes creepy is because they don't realize they're old dudes and they're hitting on young girls as if they're their age, like 20.
Yeah, like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Let me riz you up.
Like, it might have been hot and sexy when they were appropriate, like when they were that age, but but I don't think a lot of those creepy guys realize how creepy that is because they don't realize how old they look when they're doing it.
But I mean, that's always sort of the knock of sort of, California and the Los Angeles sort of like stereotype, right? Is like it's a fantasy land. It's Disneyland. It's fucking makeup and Hollywood, and people live in altered realities where they think that fucking aliens are gonna come down and collect our souls or something. I mean, I don't know what the fuck Scientology believes. Ooh, I'm gonna bleep that out later. I do not want to get sued or shot or
No, but I don't think all did you say Californians or Los Angeles?
Well, I just sort of think sort of that whole kind of, and I think a lot of it is sort of around that sort of Los Angeles mentality because I think Hollywood is the center of it, right? Like, at least in Sandoval's mind. Like,
okay, but like not everyone that lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, absolutely not. There's millions and millions of people that live in Los Angeles that don't even aspire to that life. But Sandoval does.
Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about
Well, yeah,
these.
He's from Cincinnati or something. He moved there.
And I imagine that there's a whole kind of, subculture of this kind of like hangers on trying to get into, and scrap for whatever bit of celebrity that they can attain.
Well, yeah, that's because he got a little bit of that fame that he craved when he was living in I think it's Cincinnati that he's from, or Ohio, where Midwest. And now, yeah, But honestly, when like right before you and I got together, when Antoine and I were going out to the bars, and I'd gone through my divorce, I was like 30. I was getting hit on by 50-year-olds because the 30-year-olds were hitting on the 20-year-olds. Like nobody my age wanted my age range. I mean, you did because thank God.
Because I'm a normal human being. I don't live in a fantasy land where I'm a perpetual fucking teenager. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I accept, that I will get old and I will get sick and I will eventually die, and I'm pretty okay with that. I don't need to fight against
Yeah. Anyway, while
and I
they're
feel bad for those people that are really hung up on it.
yeah, I know. Well, don't, because they don't even realize it. So they're not feeling too bad. Anyway. um while they're talking shit about Ariana, Sheena is kind of telling the rest of the people at the beach day about how she was gonna hook Tom up with Tori, but Katie's like, oh, wait a minute. I want to get hooked up with Tori. And so, it's just, it's so weird. It's so weird.
I
This
don't.
whole episode and the whole time I'm just like, this is so weird. But it's new.
Yeah.
It's new.
Yeah, I think, because I mean, and it's sort of like, and basically it's like, okay, Sheena's basically saying, all right, well, and pretty much all that Schwartz was saying all last episode was, okay, Katie fucked Max, the gloves are off, we can quit all pretenses and let's,
Even playing field.
Yeah. Except I don't think Katie feels that way. But
yeah, I think if anything is a revenge, this is. I still don't feel like Max was a revenge. I think that was just they're familiar with one another, and so
maybe.
like.
But it could have been anybody.
Yeah, but these two know each other. They know they're single. Yeah. Blah blah. I don't know. Whatever.
No, okay. Well, I mean,
who am I to say?
Okay, but just devil's advocate, it was revenge bang.
Mm-hmm.
And that, because she didn't, at least on camera, fight against that whole idea that hard. And that wasn't enough. And so here's the next revenge thing. Is that going to fill that sense that she, is that going to even the playing field for her?
I think
when is enough? This is me.
No.
Is a dagger that I see before me.
I do think it is hard for Katie to see Schwartz with anyone else. I mean, why else does she go that hard on Joe? There's Joe. We saw it with Rachel last season. And, well, Tori, she is a little attracted to. But anyway, let's get going. Okay. So anyway, they all pack up eventually, and
they're gonna go eat some oysters.
Yep, they're gonna get some food and drinks. And Tom are creepy, buying around of shots. Just the way they're doing it and the way he says his toast. And, oh, he's just such... Tom Sandoval is such a creepy human. It's so weird. Before I knew about the Rachel thing, he was my favorite guy. Because, well, he and Ariana
and
were
now I get the same disgusting feeling when I see Sam. I mean, I don't know.
My
It's just
skin it just crawls when he talks. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't. I can't criticize Sandoval enough, and I don't want this show to be about me just shitting on Sandoval. So let's move on.
Good idea. But I know what I was thinking. Oh yeah, because Tori sits down next to Tom, and because he asks what she drinks, and she's like, champagne, and I'm just like, and then he orders it, and they have it.
Yeah,
I was like, who carries champagne at little snack shacks like this? It was weird.
And he orders a whole bottle.
A whole bottle. And then he's like, well, we have to call it sparkling wine or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, I was like,
yeah, I've never.
This just looked like a beer place.
Yeah, I guess.
A beer and like a margarita, but it did just to order champagne so nonchalantly.
Well, that's because we're poor. So, you know, we think that champagne is for special occasions. And it's usually cheap, shitty champagne that, Tom Cruise would definitely.
What?
Did you never watch Cocktail?
Oh, Cocktail.
You don't drink shitty champagne and then,
That's not Tom. Okay. Tom Cruise's character.
Yeah, but because I mean, when I think of the Toms, they totally want to be Tom Cruise in Cocktail, right? Like that's their whole shtick.
Well, then they'd actually have to work.
They don't show that in the movies. Like, what do you mean?
No, but that's my favorite scene is when Tom Cruise and is it Australian or is he English? No, it doesn't matter. Yeah. His partner, when they're doing the bar scene, like throwing the bottles and flipping the cups and like doing the thing. That they're working.
Oh yeah, but
that would mean Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval would have to show up at an hour that was scheduled and do something, not just talk and cause drama, but like serve drinks.
Well, yeah, because
and put on a show.
That's because I mean I was when I was in Korea, there was a bar called Island Stone. And that was their whole thing. They do a cocktail show, right?
Fun.
And it was, they'd advertise the cocktail show, right? So like, big old board, 9:00, come on in for the cocktail show. Oh. And they usually do like drink specials and stuff around that time.
Yeah.
Right? And so you'd go in there and they would do the whole, flipping the bottles and lighting shit on fire, and it was great, right? Uh-huh. And then it'd stick around for the show. Or stick around. But those guys that did the show sat in that fucking bar before the show and after the show, serving fucking drinks and being bartenders.
I know that, and they showed that in Cocktail. Like that's how
they didn't show a full 8-hour shift where you just got done and fucking just wanted to shoot yourself. You know what I mean? Like
anyway. Okay, so they order champagne. I thought that was weird. And then Tom and Tori, because Tori asks Tom, are you going to ask me on a date? And Tom's like, I don't know. Do you want me to? So basically they awkwardly agree to go on a date.
Yeah, it was so weird. I can't even begin to...
And then Katie comes and cock blocks. That made it even more weird.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, because
But I
Tom's like,
couldn't tell if Tom was almost like, I don't know because you're 12.
well, he was hitting on 12-year-olds when she walked up. So,
True.
so he's like, yeah, oh, super, I wrote down super cafe.
Coffee?
I don't know. Super fly likes champagne.
Oh yeah, because he said that she told him that he was super fly and that made him,
Gave him some validation.
yeah, gave him some
And
valid.
which I thought was cringy as fuck. Dude, if you're looking for validation from 24-year-old girls
When you're 40,
when you're 40, it's just. Well, and that's the thing, because when you can't get validation from a mature person your own age, where you got to go to get your validation, man?
yeah.
And
Because
yeah,
I don't know. I've known some mature 24-year-olds that probably could date a 40-year-old and, it'd be fine. Like, I really do think, you know, like sometimes chronological age, but
mm-hmm.
Tori does. Tori seems like a girl that would be just fine dating age appropriate people, and she'd probably have, yeah.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel like a lot of this stuff is really produced, but the production don't really know what the fuck they're doing. So that's why I put this is weird as fuck. Like
Well,
everybody
yeah, in that,
feels like they're thrust into this awkward
but
situation. I
that's
don't think
why
that.
when you get a real scene, it's good. Like the next,
Oh
like,
yeah.
because
But I mean, I'm just saying, like a lot of the. I mean, I'm
there,
not talking about just this episode. I'm talking about this whole season. A lot of this Tom and Katie stuff has been felt really.
well, that's because they didn't get their season last year. It got blown apart by fucking Scandival. Last year was supposed to be their season of resolution after their divorce. It was supposed to be Katie gets pissed because he hooks up with Rachel, or he has a
Mm,
kiss. Okay, and then it's okay, fine. Now we're gonna be okay hooking up with, because I don't know. I just don't know. But I do think Katie does get activated by. I'm sorry, I watched Summer House. That
mm.
word can't. You need to watch Summer House. That's a good show. Um, but she does get activated by thinking about Schwartz with an. I don't think she wants Schwartz, but she doesn't want Schwartz with another. She doesn't want any other woman with Schwartz either. And
Well,
I've been there.
so that
I
means.
have been there. I've been Katie in this. In
Okay,
this,
so that means one of two things.
what?
Either A, they're going to possibly get back together, or B, you know what B is?
Hmm.
This
What? No, this is an audio podcast, honey.
Oh yeah. This is stabbing, thrusting motions with my
Like
hands.
the psycho. Are you doing single white female or Norman Bates psycho?
I'm thinking more of. I'm
Because
doing.
when I see the knife action, I think of Glenn Close in single white female sometimes.
I.
But when I hear like ree ree ree, I think of Norman Bates and Psycho.
No, I'm doing. I do Macbeth.
Oh, okay.
This is Macbeth killing Duncan.
Okay. Well, I was wondering more for the cliche. But where are we? Okay, well, now I'm talking about this is some real stuff. Lala's talking to Ariana, and
Yeah.
she asks the real question. and it's such a Lala. She is she's like this unseen voice of reason this season for me. I never saw this, but she asks, "Are there unresolved feelings?" And Ariana admits, "Yes, of
Well, yeah. I
course."
mean, that I.
And uh, it was just, I think, and then like, okay, so then you had both Sheena and Lala saying things like, well, I remember Sheena saying, "He broke the house. That you didn't expect for this to happen. This wasn't your fault." Basically, they're finally validating
Mm-hmm.
her and telling her what she needed, and we got to see Ariana cry, and you don't get to see, because that whole exterior, and that's why I was so mad at her in some of these episodes. I was like, don't make yourself the villain, Ariana. It's just, she is
Mm-hmm.
she is so like, does not want anyone to see that side of her, but there is that side of her, and like, I don't think that could be faked, because I don't know, tears like that, or and even even if it were practiced or rehearsed, it was definitely how she felt. And it
Yeah.
was the first time we got to hear it, because before it was all coming out in anger about Tom.
Well, because I think she was forced to be defensive because everybody,
Mm-hmm.
I think, was in this place of like, we have to validate everybody's feelings and everybody's invited. And, you know what I
Is
mean?
everyone invited?
And we're
Yeah.
gonna, and so I think there was never a moment where everybody was like,
How are you doing?
yeah, yeah, like,
Or like, yeah, are there any unresolved feelings?
well,
Because Randall,
mm,
Lala situation, it was similar in the way that um Lala fully expected to be married to this man, and then COVID happened, and so they had to
mm,
put their wedding on pause, and then she caught him cheating. And like, if she didn't truly expect to marry Randall, she wouldn't have had a child with him.
right.
She wouldn't have brought, and so that's why this time around she's doing it differently. But we'll get there.
Yeah, no, I think that overall, though, just kind of like as far as the way that they're appearing on the show and like, like Ariana, of course, I mean, she's already doing the thing on Broadway or whatever, right? In Chicago.
I think they just wrapped that.
And then isn't she going to host a show?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But like, I could see like these two, like, being like on The View, going on and doing those sorts of
Yeah.
things, or even like even their own talk show. Like, I think they're that composed enough and that real enough.
Lala
Yeah,
and Ariana.
yeah. Where you
Yeah.
look at like,
Well, Lala does have her own podcast.
yeah. But I mean, like, if they were gonna go continue on television, like sort of,
Yeah, they would be really. I would even tune in. I don't tune into daytime talk show, or
mm-hmm,
like The View or anything like that. But if Lala and Ariana had a show, I'd probably tune in.
mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, I would. Yeah, and they have enough. Or they're charismatic, and yeah, they're just
But I mean, like I said,
those
like,
kind of people,
yeah,
and
and
they're honest.
yeah, and they're mature. Like every other
Oh
character on
yeah,
the show
definitely.
is so stunted that
Yeah.
they can't really work in a different kind of environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or
Like
for somebody
yeah,
on a daily.
yeah,
Because I think working on those daily talk shows is a lot of work.
right.
There, I mean, I don't know. It looks, it sounds like a lot of work. But yeah, I liked that scene a lot. I thought it had a lot of heart. And then Katie and Katie tells Tori she's never dated women and they kiss. And Katie likes it as she goes in for more. And it's just so weird because, isn't Schwartz right
Well, yeah,
around the corner?
and see, and that's what I don't understand, and that's why I'm like, I don't know if Katie's for real. I don't know if Tori's for real, right?
I know, because it's like,
The whole,
it was like, okay, it sounded as though, okay, in a week, Schwartz and Katie had shared custody of Tori. It was a sister wives situation, and she was the husband. She had a wife every day. Oh, may the best woman win. Are we calling Schwartz a woman?
well, the whole thing's kind of like weird. Like I said, it's just
So weird.
that's what I mean. Like it's feeling
Oh,
overproduced, but the production
nice
just doesn't know what the fuck
segue.
they want to do.
You know why?
Why?
Because
Enlighten me.
the next scene, we have Joe and Lala. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, here we go. And Joe wants to use Lala to get into the group, is kind of how it sounded, but it wasn't that. It was like Joe just said that Lala seemed the most open to letting her
Well, here's what I think
be around Schwartz.
Joe understands is that Schwartz is not going to be with anybody that the group, i.e., Sandoval, doesn't approve of. But I mean, that's so. I mean, Joe understands it as the group, right? Like, it doesn't matter if she's friends with Katie or Ariana, like, or even if she gets along with them, right? But I guess, or maybe it's because he's got to have a Stepford woman that could fit a role on a TV show. I don't know.
But she was with Schwartz when they first hooked up. Sandoval and Ariana were still together, so it was still a group, right. And so it kind of still feels like it, even though Sandoval and Ariana are at odds and people have to ping pong between them. It's like a constant game of pong if they're both together. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think like she's not using Lala. Well, I guess what I'm saying, she's not using Lala to get into the group. She wants to get into the group so she can get Tom to see her, and
she thinks that, I think she's kind of delusional sometimes.
Oh, absolutely delusional.
Because I think she's convinced herself that if she can get in with the group, she could seriously date Tom.
Yeah.
Like she'd be allowed to. And then anyway, Lala wants to know if Joe ever knew about Rachel. And I gotta, honey, I'm sorry. I know you have a name for Schwartz, but I kind of like Joe's better. T Money.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't. I guess.
It's very rapperish.
Well, it's funny. So is Shiz. But, like, I've never considered giving him what do you call it? Nickname? And
Yeah.
then two people in one season.
Well, he's the guy with the guy with the
But
plants. He's the plant guy.
Anyway, when Joe is asked about that, she was full of shit, right? When she was saying she didn't know. She's like, I honestly thought they were broken up. I'm like, I don't think Tom Schwartz, I don't think he kept anything from Joe either. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think she's full of shit in this scene.
I think that Schwartz thinks that he can lie to fucking Joe and tell her to believe whatever the fuck he wants. Obviously, I mean, this might be jumping ahead a little bit, but apparently he's telling her that he loves her. So,
True. And they're still hooking. Oh God. Anyway, that comes.
So I mean, it sounds to be a little bit more than just vibes. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Anyways, so.
True. But I don't know how
But I mean, if I don't think that Joe's sitting around having conversations with Sandoval, but
how did she think they were broken up?
Well, Sandoval was probably like, or we're in an open relationship, or we're separated.
Well, maybe.
Or, there's no amount of fucking lies I can't imagine that man spewing.
Yeah, I want to believe the best out of Joe, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I'll say the open
until I have absolute proof. I'm gonna default on Sandoval manipulating everybody in the situation.
Well, from what we see later on, Lala seems to believe her because she's like, basically, she's a little weird, but she's harmless. Okay, and so. Anyway, should we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if I miss anything. Just stop me. But now I'm going to Top Golf. Did you have anything?
That's where we're at. Top Golf. That's what I got.
Top Golf.
Golf.
Top Golf. Okay. Well, I was super confused at first because I was like, this looks like a driving range, and then I was like, oh, it is, but with like a game aspect. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a golfing game.
Oh yeah.
If
I'd do it.
I would suck at it so bad, I would bring everybody's score. And that's what I hate about team sports is I suck.
Mm-hmm. I remember going to the par 3 with my old man that one time, and I remember I
used to get so much anxiety, I couldn't even drive the goddamn golf cart after a while. I'd be like, and I remember high centering it into a hazard, a sand trap.
Yeah, that's not golfing with Tony. But I mean, of course, that's just not golfing with me because I remember we were about hole 8, hole 9. We might have been on the back 9 by then. And the whole time my dad had been trying to give me pointers, keep your elbow up, stand like here, do that, blah blah.
Hold it like a baseball bat, elbow out.
And there's like one hole on that par 3 in Billings where you have to take out like your 3-wood and you can actually tee up and like drive it a little bit. And I sliced that fucker right off into the water. And I remember my dad looking at me. He just looked at me. He goes, "You really don't give a fuck, do you?" Like, not even a little bit. Yeah, that's how I golf. If I go golf and if I find my ball after I hit it, I count it up as a win, man.
Oh, I love Grandpa Tony. That is so you. You really don't give a fuck, do you? It's not about golf, Dad.
No, we're going to go drink a pitcher of beer after this, and then, it's going to be cool.
It's so funny because, yeah, that I could see you just being all whatever. But sometimes little things will get you so pissed. Like certain subjects that are near and dear. That's so God. I wish I could have been there. I just love your dad. I love your dad. Anyway, where were we? Oh, we're still at Top Golf. And Tori comes up and everyone's just like nodding and ahhing. And DJ James Kennedy asked Katie if kissing Tori was payback. But then what does Katie say?
No, nothing I do has anything to do with Tom. I'm my own woman now, blah, blah, blah. Sort of like she's being her own woman now. Not by going out and meeting new people, but by cock blocking her ex. Whatever you.
I was busy thinking, yes, this is exactly where I need you, James. Don't stop now. And then, sure enough, in the confessional, he's like, when is anyone gonna say it? You know, I'm paraphrasing. He's just like,
well, because she was pissed off.
Right? Weird. This is fucking weird.
Well, is this because is this when? No, she didn't find out about Joe and Lala talking at this point, right?
This wasn't where she gets.
Oh no, she isn't. They don't talk about that until the bar. Okay.
No, this is still at Top Golf.
Yeah.
I was just laughing because DJ James Kennedy first asked Katie about the kissing, if it was payback. And I was just like so excited about James asking that. I didn't pay attention to what Katie said, and you said that. So I just recapped our recap.
Yeah, that's how it went down.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, but James is at peak James confessional. I think that James, you know where he would really shine if they really wanted to start, producing it, but not condescending to us, would be letting James have a narration role. It'd be so funny, but let him decide what he wants to say. Almost, it'd just be great.
I think you should let DJ James Kennedy do the top 20 countdown. Fuck Ryan Seacrest. Just do the DJ James Kennedy.
Do they still have that?
Just let him fucking go off and talk shit.
Do they do that still?
I don't know. They still got radio stations. I imagine that they still do it.
I haven't heard Ryan Seacrest's name in a long time.
I do know that they still do a country countdown because I was driving down the road somewhere around here listening to the country radio station, and like on Sunday, it was like the country countdown. I don't laugh at me. I know you used to listen to it probably when you were a kid.
Oh yeah, that's all we really had around here. But anyway, they do a little bit more. They do a little bit of house talk, and for the first time, Ariana is seeming excited to get her own place. You know, it's like, I mean, instead of her getting defensive, she's seeming more excited. So I'm wondering if she already had her house deal in place. Because I imagine she probably had it for a while. Because I don't know if she did the renovations or if the renovations were done before she bought it.
Well, she was preparing an offer the last episode, right? So she might have at least submitted an offer. So I mean, the balls are, the balls are there, the wheels are in motion, right?
Yeah, I bet she is just like.
I mean, and I know how much women get attached to their nests.
Well, yeah, but I think if she finds a better nest, it could be a little bit. Well,
because but it's letting go of it, though, right?
Like, everything there were a lot of gross things that happened in that house pertaining her ex. And I'm not even just talking Rachel. Who the hell knows who else?
Yeah.
I mean, ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to Lala and Sheena at the fertility clinic because she's getting a donor this time for good reason. And she talks about her upbringing, and that's a little sad because she was hoping to give that to, her family. But she's good. She seems like a good mom, and I know that she's gonna provide a good life no matter what. It's just, yeah, it sucks that she'll have custody and 100% of the time with any future children if she chooses this route every time, but she won't with that one. Anyway, where I am, oh yeah, we were talking about oh yeah, so anyway, at the embryo clinic, or at the
they had a strange
sperm,
pivot. Yeah, they had a strange.
Because they start talking about Ariana.
Yeah, there was that's what I wrote down. I was like, that's a strange pivot to Ariana.
So strange. And the house situation. And then I got pissed off and wrote, why isn't everyone telling him to fucking leave?
Yeah.
Not once this season has anyone said, Tom, you have a middleman. Fucking leave. You cheated.
Yeah.
Leave. You cheated. You did this. This is happening because of you. If you don't want to live in the same house as your ex for the rest of your life and watch it and have it get weirder and weirder and weirder, leave.
Yeah, I
Not
think,
once has anyone said anything remotely close to that we've seen.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. Like, Tom is the one that fucked it up. He doesn't get to fucking...
And I think that's what Ariana's trying to articulate to everyone.
Yeah, like
they just don't want to hear it.
Because the plan was going to be, he was going to move Rachel into that house. And she was going to be his next, arm candy for his fucking, his theater of his life. That was, because, this is hard. I'd like to see everybody else do this. Real actors suck.
His next serious girlfriend he cheated on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. And then she would get a little older.
Yeah, like Ariana said. Yeah, I guess that was last season. Let's just wait until she's no longer she'll get a little older and she'll no longer want to do mushrooms with Tom and
go drop acid at Coachella.
But anyway, Schwartz lets Joe bleach his hair. And while she's doing that, oh yeah, and by the way, when he said that, I knew he must be having some kind of weird midlife crisis. Because you always do something weird, or I always do something drastic to my hair when I'm in a big change. Not necessarily a crisis.
But whenever I'm just like, I can't do this anymore, I just go and shave my head.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't feel this.
Audio podcast, babe.
Yeah. Well, let's, use your imagination, people. For fuck's sake. Does nobody use their imaginations anymore?
Video soon to come. I keep teasing it. But
you should just stop doing that until we do it.
But he's telling her about his date with Tori. And it was weird because before Joe even asked the question, I was like, why is Joe getting all the hate when they're not supposed to date in the friend group? Joe is barely a friend. She's actually Crazy Kristen's ex-friend, and that's the only way she was in the friend group. So not really in the friend group.
Mm.
But Tom and Katie can simultaneously be dating the same woman.
Yeah.
And Tori's not getting any hate from
Well,
Katie. Not like Joe.
Well, that's what.
Joe didn't. How did Joe?
Well, because I mean, look, that's sort of the. I know we could talk about this at the end, but the truth of the matter is because that's a real relationship. You know what I mean? Like that.
Or it was.
Like, if yeah, what? Well, like I said, we'll get to that part of the end, I guess. But I mean, that sort of. I got kind of a lot of thoughts on that. But that's why, I think, right? Because it's a mature relationship, I guess you would say, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess might as well talk about the end too, because it all ties together. But.
Well, Katie's talking, she said her date was a little bit weird with the girl Tom was dating the night before. And I'm like, yeah, that's because you're sitting in your apartment painting badly.
Yeah, what's up with the sip and paint? Like, are you...
if they're best girlfriends, I mean, I could do my best girlfriend came over today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
that's something she and I would have been doing.
Yeah, like, why aren't y'all going to the club and, going to a movie, go to dinner?
Yeah, or, I mean, I'm not
that's
trying to bust their chops, but it just, it was super forced. It didn't feel romantic or like they had feelings for one another.
No, I think that they decided that, all right.
And
Katie's like, yeah, I'll go and kiss a girl for ratings.
I can't imagine Katie.
I kissed a girl and I liked it. Blah, blah, blah.
But I can imagine Schwartz being really into this 24-year-old, but I can't imagine Katie being into a 24-year-old. I just can't. I mean, if they would have given me a woman of an appropriate age, I could have believed it a little bit more, but I can't imagine Katie being, truly into a 24-year-old dude either. But last season, I guess she did.
Well, no, because what were they talking about? And she was like, I don't know who that is or whatever. And Katie was like rolling her eyes. Like,
when?
I don't know. She made some reference to Bob Ross. She was talking about Bob Ross, and she's like,
"Oh my God, yes!" That's why I didn't even write anything down about that scene. The only thing I wrote down was about.
But I mean, that's exactly.
Oh, because it was so bad. Yeah.
It's just like.
What do you? Yeah, Katie, the look she gave her. It was kind of how we're talking right now. How do you not know who Bob Ross is?
But that's
dumb twit.
But that's the moment you go look at yourself in the mirror and you give yourself that stupid ass.
I'm look. The creepy old. She's not the weird one.
Yeah.
I'm the creepy old one.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's what Katie did.
It's funny.
In that moment.
Because I think, and maybe every...
Bob Ross teaches us all something, doesn't he?
Yeah, but maybe every new teacher goes through this, and maybe, it's just a matter of time. It's going to happen regardless, but I'm out there throwing out my, Gen X, early, millennial references about life, the universe, and everything to my students, like they're going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. They do not have a clue what I'm talking. I can't even make Simpsons references in school. and
What?
have the kids get them, right?
Well, I
Like,
haven't watched Simpsons in years.
South Park, can't even bring up South Park.
Oh, that's so sad.
Like the kids just look at me, and I mean, I guess maybe if I watched like Rick and Morty, I'd be able to like hit him at that level.
You could make a Rick and Morty reference, and I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but mainly I think it's it's
Yeah.
internet memes that they're
right,
and they and that's great for them because kids get this fresh stock of like
but
internet
that's
memes
why
all
you
the time.
and I wouldn't date somebody with that
Yeah.
large of an age or that.
Oh yeah,
age gap.
absolutely. Like I just look at I mean, because don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these people that look at kids and be like, oh fuck,
No,
these dumb shits. No, I'm actually pretty encouraged by most of my students. So,
but you're not turned on.
No, I'm not turned on, and I don't fucking try to get their jokes and try to be cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
which
like
probably makes you cooler.
Yeah.
This is where, like, if we do a meanwhile, like if we go back to where the girls are, Katie just starts freaking out on Lala about Joe.
What? Oh yeah, that's
because Lala decided to talk to, or she's like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Please elaborate, because I will think about Tequila Katie, and I'll go into a tailspin.
Okay, well. Oh yeah, well that was. Yeah, well, no, that's what I guess that's what I girls' night, Tequila Katie is a hoe, is supposed to carry, no, that's what Katie said.
She
so
said
wait,
that.
Yeah, so wait, so Tequila Katie is a hoe,
like,
that's the
you
quote.
Don't talk like that.
Is supposed to carry a lot of weight in the scene, and it went right over my fucking head, so take it away, Jess.
When she's going after Joe like that, hard like that, that's Tequila Katie. But I guess if I don't want to put it out there, I shouldn't. But I don't want to sound stupid just in case everybody else knows. I guess we can cut it if you think we should cut it, and leave it in if you.
Well,
think...
this is for my benefit. I don't give a shit about everybody else. They're listening on my conversation.
Okay, so anyway.
No offense.
Okay, we're still okay. So what I am thinking, I just recently learned that pasta was not code word for cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Tequila was. That makes so much more sense. I was like, how often are these fuckers saying pasta? I've heard it just this episode when they made a big deal about it. It's not about the pasta. But I don't know. And cocaine Katie? But you can't say that on Vanderpump Rules, especially in 2012, 2013. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not saying.
Is Katie implying that she's snorting a little cocaine?
No, I think that
they're being a mean bitch.
I think that she's just alluding to the fact that, yeah, the bitch is back. Or when we're gonna talk about this, I'm gonna be a bitch. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with whether she's drunk or high, or because remember I told you in her wedding season, she chilled out a little bit because she started dabbling in edibles, and she started calling herself Sativa Katie. So that kind of is the opposite of cocaine. Rather than tequila. But then again, I mean, it's also like it has the opposite effects of tequila too. It'll calm you down, and I guess tequila riles some people. I was never a tequila drinker. I don't like it. It's too
I I've
The
never.
aftertaste is burny. It burns.
I like tequila.
Even good tequila is not really. I know. I'm in the minority, I think.
But it's never made me, I mean, yeah, I've never had straight up tequila nights. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
I've never seen anyone get angry on tequila. I've seen a lot of people who are tequila drinkers. With their mixed drinks would be tequila drinks.
well, we used to have a system. I had a very, and maybe this is addict behavior. I don't know, but I had a very controlled system about how I would go about drinking when I was younger, when I was in the Army, especially.
How? How do you mean?
Every 2 beers, I would take a shot of tequila. No training wheels, no salt, no lime.
No, me neither.
2 more beers, shot of tequila. All night long. But as long as I didn't take too much tequila in between the beers.
2 beers and a tequila.
Yeah, I mean,
2
this is stretched out
beers.
over hours, right? Like, I mean, I'm not like sitting there going, that's like.
It wouldn't even have to be hours back in my 20s. My God. Just think about it. In your 20s, that's nothing.
Yeah.
2 beers, well, I don't know. You were probably drinking your hard to swallow beer while I was drinking my water.
No, we were drinking
Budweiser.
We were drinking kegs of
Woo!
Natty Light in the barracks.
Ooh, high class.
Yeah. Puke and rally the whole fucking night.
What, were the wives with their boxed wines? I shouldn't shit on boxed wine. There's been a couple nights I've had a couple boxed
I was
wine.
in the Army. There were no wives around.
What? They're Army wives. What?
Yeah, they don't live in the barracks with the soldiers.
Oh, I suppose not, huh?
The families live off post. Fort Hood especially. There's no
I've never been on a fort, a post, anything. I've never been where soldiers live. So I only have movies and my imagination.
Well, we should go take a trip down to Fort Hood.
I always imagine dorm rooms.
Very similar. It's very similar to dorm rooms, right?
And like dorm room behavior.
Yeah, except for, it's just a bunch of guys. So it's very much locker room, uber masculine.
Well, so when they get married?
When you get married, you move out of the barracks and you go buy a house. And the government will give you an allowance to purchase that home. So, I mean, they do have like on-post housing that, the government provides, but it's kind of like student housing at colleges. They're like family housing for students at colleges. It's like never very much.
Okay, but anyway, should we get back to the show?
I'm waiting on you.
Okay. Okay, so about so we talked about Katie freaking out about Lala having, but I liked that Lala is, she's just telling everyone like it is, and not in a mean way, not in any way other than the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she likes, or she doesn't think Joe's a bad person.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, she didn't co-sign totally. She's like, I don't know her, but she's nice. She seems nice.
But I'm not going to make her fucking cry at a bar.
Thank you.
Like.
And then, speaking of, you keep giving me good segues. Because if we cut back to singles night, fucking Ken Chan. Or Kyle Chan. I kept writing Ken. I don't know why. Kyle Chan. Talking to Tom, saying, you need to quit hanging out with Joe.
Yeah.
And then other Tom is talking to young girls, and I feel bad for Joe, but then I'm like, she's putting blinders on. Because Tom said he wanted to go there for singles night. Like, but do you honestly think he doesn't, or I don't think he thinks he's leading her on. I think
Well,
he's just that dumb about girls.
I think that Tom cannot do conflict in any way, shape, or form.
I know, and I see
And
myself there.
so he's depending on other people to help him make the right decision, right? Like,
Yeah, but it just, oh my God, it
because he
broke
like
my heart when Joe said she was tired of feeling like a secret.
mm-hmm.
How did, like, I just want to hug her.
See, and that's the thing too. I'm just kind of like, so
Because he was leading. I mean, if you go by what she says, what did she say?
well, yeah, I mean, she says that that they've been hooking up and that he was telling her that he loved her. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, I
they
don't know, but
said the love word too,
that's
especially.
basic. I mean, that's you learn that shit and like they're like you don't do that shit
Hopefully ever,
ever. But
unless
you know what
you
I mean.
mean it.
But that's a fucking high. So much of this is just like I said, high school stunted development, can't grow up bullshit, right?
Yeah, some of that is.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, I I think that teenagers, especially, would kind of kind of throw that kind of shit around, willy nilly, right? In sort
What?
of
That's so high school.
yeah, no, just like being like, I love you, and just to hook up.
Which is so weird because
I
when
don't, I
I
don't
was
think they
in
do it
high
anymore.
school, my friends and we weren't like that with our boyfriends and girlfriends, and we were still hooking
Mm,
up, not to blow up anybody's spot. Like, they were still, being teenagers, but
yeah.
like serious relationship. Not that I know of. I know that I never said I love you. I never heard an I love you. I didn't expect it.
Mm,
I don't think anyone. And I came from a small town where some people do get married right out of high
mm,
school, and not that much, but I mean, it does happen. And those marriages are the ones that seem to last, oddly enough.
mm.
It's like they know right away.
Yeah. Well, some people. Yeah, I mean, some people know.
Which,
But a lot of times, it's like I don't ever want to leave this town.
yeah, that's true.
Mm,
But I mean, that's a big thing, though.
mm.
And especially if, like, both their parents live there.
Well, I mean, like I said, I think there's nothing wrong with staying home if that's what you're into.
No, whatever makes you happy. But what
Some people
makes
will
the
probably be
boys happy?
is
Paintball.
paintball, acting like no, I'm a whatever.
DJ JK gives Tom Schwartz shit about his hair being gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that why you're dyeing it? And I knew because it was last season when he would get a haircut. I knew in one of his confessionals because I could see his grays where he'd had the fade,
Mm-hmm.
and he must have had to go in before he had time to get it dyed because he was very gray. And I was like, oh, maybe he's just gonna let it grow out, see how it looks. But no, it was colored by what do you call it? Reunion time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so funny because they would show, did you get tired of matching browns? Then it showed different browns throughout the different seasons. And I was like, on my gray hair Instagram pages, a lot of people like bleach their
Mm-hmm.
hair to grow the gray out because it's an easier transition, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, um Sheena thought there would be AC in a VIP bathroom. But the dude is breaking down the paintball rules, and it sounds brutal and like zero fun. He's
Oh,
like, it can break your face.
oh, it hurts like hell. Those paintballs, they fucking hurt, man.
Ah, you've done it?
Oh yeah, we used to have a
With
when I was growing up in Haverhill, we had a paintball. They opened up for like a year or two. They didn't stay open very long. They tried to open up an arcade, but it was an old warehouse, and then they set it up. They had all these obstacles and stuff.
ah,
It kind of sucked. It was all black lights and everything. It would have been better if they just would have lit it up.
yeah. You couldn't see?
I mean, you could see, but like the masks, you gotta wear those masks and they'd fog up.
Ew. Ow, ow,
So yeah,
ow,
we were just kind of like
ow.
running around, being able to half see each other, you know, just shooting paintballs. And I remember I was standing on this ladder, and Mike come up behind me, and I didn't see him, and he just popped me right in the nuts, man. It fucking hurt so bad.
I'm so lucky to have children.
Yeah, you're very lucky to have children. That could have been a baby killer right there.
So I don't know. I don't think any of the chicks went or the girls went, did they?
No,
I think it was all.
it was just
dudes.
Lala and Sheena, right, watching.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was I mean, I think Lala and Sheena were watching, but that was just the boys playing, pretending to be.
Yeah,
guys.
and Tom Sandoval is like trying to show off his moves
His
from
tactical moves.
what was that show he went on?
Special Forces or whatever.
Special Force. I was gonna say Black Ops. I don't know what that
Or Special Ops, or yeah, I don't know. I never did get around to watching it. Like I said, I mean, you know, I got real people in my life who are doing the real thing. So these fucking pretenders don't impress me much.
They don't impress me much. But it was here during my second viewing because like everybody says how Tom was, and I don't know if the friend group did or anything like that, but he was a predator because Rachel was so much younger than him or whatnot. And then we find out Tori is 24,
Mm-hmm.
but like Katie has no problem with it and Schwartz has no problem with it. And I think it's kind of gross that they're using her as their plaything for their sick revenge game.
Well, but that's the thing. Is Schwartz?
I don't know. I think Schwartz likes her.
Schwartz is just kind of
But like he said, he is a makeout slut. Like I think he was with Katie for so long that now that he's single and allowed to mingle, he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I think she does too. What's her name? T or
Tori.
Tori. I think Tori just wants to have fun too, but she's 24 and like she is. It's like this tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
Like Katie had her the night before. What does Schwartz think about that? What does Katie think about going on a date with the girl that Schwartz had a date with the night before? And it's just like,
well, but that's the thing, and
it's
and
gross.
I think that's sort of
I think it's gross because they're using her.
Yeah.
In a way.
Oh yeah.
Whether they're admitting it or not.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, and yeah, it's like I said, I don't know. I think there's got to be more context behind, you know, what all that. But I mean, as far as the way that it's thrown up at us, it's like, yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't like it, and it's cringy. And just stop.
Yeah.
Vanderpump Rules.
No, it's messy. It's always been messy, but I mean, now we're older, but it's fun. Don't take the fun from it. No.
I guess I'm just used to being in groups of people that are full of relatively normal people and usually having one or two eccentric fucking crazy assholes and not seeing a group of a bunch of eccentric assholes with only like two normal people.
Yeah, well, not at their age, but who knows? At least they've been together. But anyway, we end with at which was weird. Joe was she juicing at Schwartz's? Or does he just walk into her
I think he
house?
just walks into her place.
Oh, okay, because the way he walked in with his dog, it was like he was walking into his own place. So I was really confused.
He probably know, and that's sort of part of the whole thing, right? Like, because he does. How many times did he probably go walking into that house? Like, from the way it sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
both
pretty domestic.
kind
It sounded pretty domesticated, right?
Yeah.
Like he knows where the key is, probably. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she probably gave him one.
Yeah, he's probably got a key.
Yeah. But let's see. And then he asks if he's been giving her mixed signals and proceeds to tell her, like, that's why I'm wondering, is he really that aloof? Because he's like, have I been giving you mixed signals? Because, like, I've been having sex with and hooking up with and da 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 da. And Joe's just like, yeah, I know. And then she puts his hand up at one point and she's like, we know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a breakup, man.
I know, but it was like a friend break too, because I feel like whether they were gonna get together or not, and I was really rooting for them, but like I do think that they're friends.
Mm-hmm.
They have fun together. I truly believe, like, I know that their scenes were probably set up, for some drama, but it sounds like they hung out a lot without the show, because like all that stuff that the two Toms, Rachel and what's her name, Joe, were doing was not on camera. And her moving in with Schwartz, that was not on camera. She was not on camera until, well, I guess, like maybe a throwaway scene last year.
Well, I just have to assume that, at least 90% of these people's lives go on without being filmed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, that's a whole lot of life and things going on.
But I just thought it was, I don't know, I hope Piper's like this when she grows up. But like, as she leaves, she goes, I need to go call my dad. But I thought it was healthy of her to say, I need to take a step back because it's too hard, and I hope she actually does.
Well, no, I mean, I think, she could probably do better than Tom. Tom's not really a good guy. She might think of the world of him.
Well, I know she deserves better than Tom.
But he's going to go creep around young girls.
I know.
He's going to dye his hair blonde and go creep around young girls. Keep the party going. So,
no. And like,
he's nice, but he's not good.
Well, when I see that, like, I want Schwartz to date or be happy or whatever, but not with young, I guess, whatever. But at the expense of Joe, and I don't know, I can't be mad at somebody for not loving who I want them to love, but damn, they should love each other. He might regret it someday.
Yeah, probably will.
And
probably when he's, in celebrity rehab.
Well, and at this point, I'm hoping that he, or, that if he wants Joe, like if she gets in a relationship and he sees her happy, I hope it doesn't take that and then for him to come to his senses, and then would he break him up or something? That would suck. I hope you're right that Joe finds someone, but people find her annoying. I don't. But
well, I mean, maybe
even people in real life do.
I don't find you annoying.
No, Joe. Well, a lot of people find me annoying too. But Joe, like podcasters, social media people, I don't know. I just haven't.
Okay, she's not built for Hollywood. Let's put it that way.
What do you mean?
She doesn't go good on the camera. She doesn't give good takes. She's not very articulate sometimes when she speaks.
But how?
She's a little bit rough around the edges. She might snort when she laughs. You know what I mean? She's not a pageant girl.
I know, but I just can't imagine being mean to somebody for those reasons. Or, like, you can't sit here mentality.
Yeah. Well,
you can't hang out with us.
But that's, but that's what I mean. Like, they don't see the us in that group for what it's worth is, they might be, in their minds, I mean, they're famous, like they're celebrities. They're known.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Anybody letting people into the group is sort of letting them into this little Vanderpump fantasy world that they're in. And so it is a table.
But they also have other friends.
Yeah.
Outside of it. Max, for one. I didn't know that. I knew about Max, but I didn't know that he was Tom's best friend.
Yeah, and
I didn't even know he was still. Yeah, wow. That close.
Mm-hmm.
With, yeah. Yeah, that was so wild. That one was a good. The Kiss Kiss Revenge Bang was one of my favorite episodes, I think.
Well, this was a pretty good episode.
It was okay. We're almost to the finish line, honey. Almost there. And then, I don't know.
I feel like Sheena needs to just fucking eat some shit before this season's over, because I don't feel like she's done enough.
Oh, you mean like she needs to have someone call her out? Yeah. No, but I hope so.
Maybe she has been called out and I've forgotten about it, but
not really by the group, because the only one that feels hurt by her is Ariana, I suppose. Yeah. So.
But in the end, Ariana's like, I got Dancing with the Stars, bitch.
She never said that.
No, but in her mind, she can think it all she wants.
I hope so, because Sheena's like, why did you get it and not me? I hired a choreographer. Okay, I think I'm
backup dancers.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm having a TV dinner.
Love you.
All right. Oh, we should sign off. So.
Well, I'm saying I love you and not you guys. I don't know you enough. I'm gonna cut that part out. Okay. I'm just really tired now, and now I'm talking nonsense.
Should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.